Hey everybody, welcome back to JT Channel and welcome to my picks and predictions for Night of Champions 2025 taking place this weekend from fucking Saudi Arabia. I am very excited for the show actually. Over the last couple of years, even though it's blood money and I can talk about the geopolitical situation until my face turns blue and then turns other shades of blue and then just falls off. It is what it is. We all know it by now, all these years. And over the last couple of years, it's been pretty good. That's what I was trying to get at. It's been entertaining. It's been fun to watch. WWE has put actual effort into these shows, and this year is no different. I have the matches written down in the order I want to talk about them. The background I will change due to each match when I get to it. Stepped away to hopefully fix the glare a little bit here. But anyway, backgrounds will change for each matchup, and we're going to start with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. I almost called him Killer Kross. Haha. This is going to be really good, I think. I think that the way that they framed it on Raw this past Monday was fantastic. The way Sami just punched Kross out. I mean, there's a the screenshot from Monday. My pick, oh man. I don't know if I have a pick for this match. This is hard for a pick. Prediction-wise, I predict Sami's going to win. I predict that it's just this match was put on there in place of another match, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And I was hoping they would hold this feud off a little longer, like maybe have some matches on SmackDown that ended in like disqualification count out, yada, 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 and build to some big stip match at SummerSlam probably, or Hot WrestleMania as they're turning it into. But I guess pick-wise, I would pick Kross because this whole thing he's been doing for all year long, and perhaps even last year, I can't actually remember, with the whole I'm going to manipulate people and then they're going to start either doing what I say or something bad is going to happen to them. It's been really good, and the stuff with Sami has been perfect, has been the best one in my opinion. So the fact that we're finally getting to this match, I would pick Kross to win. I think Karrion Kross beating Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions, each layer is bigger than the last, would be massive. It would be awesome. So pick-wise, I would want Karrion Kross to win, but I don't think he's going to. I think that Sami Zayn is going to pick up the win here, and I think it's going to push Karrion Kross a little more, and we'll get more matches down the line. I can see Karrion Kross winning because Sami Zayn doubts himself or doesn't do the right thing or the wrong thing, I suppose. But I don't think that's what's going to happen prediction-wise. I do think that... So, very simple. I think this will be a good match, obviously. It's Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. I don't watch main event, but I know that Kross got that match on main event everybody loved. The pop for Karrion Kross, he just popped up on screen. I want Karrion Kross to win, so that's my pick. My prediction is Sami Zayn. Next up is another match that was just made on Raw. They decided to throw a lot on Raw on Night of Champions, but Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. I don't know what happened there with my language. My pick and prediction for this one's pretty much the same. I believe that Rhea Ripley is going to win, and I want Rhea Ripley to win. Not that I have a problem with Raquel Rodriguez. As a matter of fact, I love Raquel Rodriguez. But actually, now that I'm talking about it out loud, I didn't write down any notes other than the matches because I can't keep it all up here. My brain no worky. But I didn't change the background. 2 seconds. There we have it. I'm so sorry. I forgot what I was doing. See? Brain no worky. But now that I'm talking about it out loud, this whole thing happened because of Roxanne Perez. So I think I'm going to change my prediction on the spot. My pick is still Rhea Ripley. I love Rhea Ripley. She's mommy. She's the goth queen of the world, whatever. And I love Raquel too. Raquel was one of my favorites when she was down in NXT, and I don't think she's been utilized properly on the main roster. But I do see myself rooting for Rhea. Ooh, alliteration. But prediction-wise, I think it's going to be Raquel. I'm changing my prediction right now in the center of this video. Not the center, but you know what I mean. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think that we're going to get some Judgment Day nonsense, and I think that Raquel is going to win. I think Rhea is going to be able to fight off Roxanne and Raquel because she wasn't able to on Raw. And you know the old trope. Whatever happens on the show before doesn't happen on the pape. Jesus, I sound like an old head. But I think that Roxanne will get involved, and then I think that Raquel will get a win over Rhea. I don't think it hurts Rhea in any way, shape, or form, especially if Roxanne gets involved, because that's kind of an out, right? Especially for a big-time babyface, one of the most over wrestlers in the world, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Excuse me. But I think you can give Rhea the loss here, and you can build to a rematch at SummerSlam, or maybe Rhea gets a friend, and maybe Rhea Ripley and whoever go after the women's tag team titles, because this also established Roxanne and Raquel as buddies, because Roxanne was like, look, I saved you, and she gave her the big hug and everything. So, prediction-wise, I am going to go with Raquel. I think Raquel wins due to shenanigans. But pick-wise, I do want Rhea to win, just because at the same time, you can't really hurt Rhea Ripley. If she did lose, it would continue her on this feud with Raquel, which is great, don't get me wrong. But after a street fight, where do you go? So, I also just love Rhea Ripley. Who doesn't? So, pick Rhea Ripley, and prediction as I change in the middle of my discussion, Raquel Rodriguez, shenanigans. Alright, up next is Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. No, I don't regret doing that at all. Jacob Fatu is the coolest guy in the world. So this one is interesting because I do think Jacob Fatu is going to retain his title. Pick a prediction, Jacob Fatu. I'm picking him because, again, he's the coolest guy in the fucking world. And I'm predicting him because I think we're going to get the rematch at SummerSlam, and I do believe Solo Sikoa is going to take the title from him there. I didn't think we'd get any matches between these two until SummerSlam. I'm not complaining that we are. I'm really interested to see how these two work together. I don't mean to have them perfectly in sync with my hands. But I'm really curious to see how they do this. The biggest prediction out there is that there's going to be a bunch of interference. JC Mateo, maybe Hikuleo, one of the Tongans if they're ready to come back. And that it's going to build to the rematch at SummerSlam, and that's where Solo's going to win. That's how Solo's going to win. Maybe it's even a Bloodline Rules match. I could see that. I don't want too much interference at the show. I've already pitched interference in the Raquel Rhea match. Now I'm pitching it here. I'm going to pitch it again in other matches. But I don't see Jacob Fatu retaining without some sort of interference. I don't know how to word this properly. He's going to retain his title, but I do think it's going to be due to shenanigans. I think that Solo may lose by disqualification, like maybe Solo's losing and JC Mateo runs in and just beats up Jacob Fatu, or if Jacob does win clean, or he is able to knock off all the distractions like JC and any others, then I think after the match he's going to get beaten up. Because if Jacob Fatu beats Solo Sikoa clean and there's no aftermath, there's no bullshit, then why on earth would there be a rematch at SummerSlam? Unless it's like next week's SmackDown or something, he gets jumped and it's like, we're going to do this again. So that's how I think it's going to go. I'm really excited to see how these two work together in a one-on-one match. And yeah, I think that Jacob Fatu retains. I don't think anyone's going to help him, but I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans, which will lead to the rematch, which, now that I've said it, I kind of want it to be Bloodline Rules. That way Jimmy Uso can get involved, maybe Jey Uso can get involved, because Jay's got to go do something now. And we'll get JC Mateo and probably Hikuleo, and I'm hoping one of the Tongans are getting better. So pick and prediction is Jacob Fatu, but good lord, are there going to be shenanigans in this one. Best background photo I've gotten so far. Up next, we have the women's King of the Ring. The Queen of the Ring finals between Asuka and Jade Cargill. Oh boy. This one's hard. This is probably the one I'm having the hardest time with, pick and prediction-wise, simply because you have to look forward to SummerSlam. This is the thing with the King and Queen of the Ring, and with most of the matches, you really got to look forward, because the two-night SummerSlam, which is just basically a second WrestleMania at this point. What does Simon Miller call it? I said it earlier. Hot WrestleMania. They're going to want all the big matches there. So what is the big matches? Like Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. They need to have a rematch of some kind, most likely. What does Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez do? So on and so forth. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, same concept. With the King and Queen of the Ring, you really got to look forward to what is the best idea for the Women's World Championship matchup to take place there. I assume that both belts are going to be defended in one way or another. So you look at it this way. If Jade Cargill wins, she's on SmackDown, so you assume that she would go after the SmackDown title. She was probably going, if she wins, she'll probably face Tiffany Stratton. If Asuka wins, she will probably face Io Sky. So, as much as I love both of these women, like, genuinely, when Jade Cargill debuted for the very first time on All Elite Wrestling, no clue who she was, she walked out, and it was one of those things, I know a star when I see one. Immediately fell in love with her, and Asuka is fucking Asuka. Come on now. My pick is Asuka simply because I want her to face Io Sky at SummerSlam. Asuka versus Io Sky could main event night 2, and none of us would blink. None of us would be like, oh, that doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. It won't main event night 2. I know what will. But it could main event night 1, and no one would argue, and then we get to night 2. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Jade versus... sorry, I have an itch. Jade versus Tiffany, or even Jade versus Io, or Asuka versus Tiffany. But the big match, I think, heading into SummerSlam on the women's side, besides the triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship that I think we're going to do, I think we're going to do Bayley, Becky, and Lyra, but that has nothing to do with this video, is Asuka versus Io Sky. That is two of the biggest wrestlers in like Japanese professional wrestling history, and they've made an absolutely massive mark on WWE. And I think everyone would love to see it. Yes, it's babyface versus babyface, but that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. Like, back in the day, back in like the 2000s and maybe even the Attitude, well, not quite the Attitude Era, but pitting two babyfaces against each other didn't always work. There was always like a disconnect. But it's not like that in 2025. As a matter of fact, people love most people. People enjoy most wrestlers. It's okay in today's day and age to just like everybody. Even though old heads get mad about it. Trust me, I know a few. I actually know a few old heads that are like, oh, well, heels ain't heels anymore. I don't really mind it. Yes, I like a good heel. I like a good, genuine bad guy. My child has a lot to say about this. But I'm getting off topic. This is just the big match for me. Prediction-wise, same thing, I think. I don't think they're going to have Asuka lose to Jade Cargill just yet. Jade Cargill is a star. Jade Cargill is a star, but she's also a star in the making. They're still building the WWE version of Jade Cargill. I think somewhere down the line, I think Bianca Belair is injured. You have to do that match. You have to do Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill, and that's going to be Jade's big star-making moment when she beats Bianca Belair. Not that she didn't make a star of herself beating Naomi at WrestleMania, but that's the match everybody really wants, is Jade versus Bianca. So I think at Night of Champions, Jade's going to get really close. She's going to outpower Asuka a lot, and where a lot of us are going to go, oh my God, can Asuka beat her? And then Asuka's going to beat her. I think you've got to give her something big, though. Asuka's been doing that running knee. Maybe you have her do something else. Maybe she avoids the mist. She doesn't really do the mist anymore. Maybe she just like picks her up out of the Asuka lock and just chucks her like out of the ring. She's going to have some big moments, but I do think Asuka's going to win because I think WWE also knows that the match between Io Sky and Asuka is the big money match for the women's division right now. Again, besides the Intercontinental title triple threat match that I think it's pretty clear we're heading towards. So my pick and my prediction are Asuka. Nothing against Jade Cargill. As a matter of fact, I love Jade Cargill, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what we do heading into SummerSlam after that. Okay, this shot is from SmackDown because they didn't interact on Raw, and I realized I paused Cody's face hilariously. But the finals of the King of the Ring, the men's King of the Ring, I said the women's earlier, the men's Queen of the Ring. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the King of the Ring. Now, this is a lot more obvious. I've had a few, I don't knows here and there, but my pick, I don't know, but my prediction is Cody Rhodes. Pick-wise, it's really hard because I fucking love that man, okay? I told the story the other day about God, I can't remember what video it was. It might have been my Is This a Pro Wrestling Channel video? But I told the story of when he was a bad guy, when he was a heel, I was so mad at him that I punched my television where you could hear my knuckle clink off the glass. Also, in case you're wondering, this is just a cat scratch, 2 cat scratches. We just didn't know how else to cover them. Band-Aids weren't working. But anyway, I hated him so much as a child. Well, I wasn't a child, it was 2009, so. But a long time ago, I used to hate him, and I've grown to love him. And now he's probably my favorite wrestler in WWE, and he's easily one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Like, if I sat down and did like my 20 favorite wrestlers in the world right now, he's him, that guy over there, right there. he's easily top 10. I always love seeing him. I'm so happy that he's, going constantly right now. And this match is going to be absolutely brilliant. There is going to be near falls that are going to have my heart in my throat, because we're all pretty certain, pretty sure that Cody's winning, because the obvious path forward is Cody beats Randy Orton at at Night of Champions. Then Cody wins his title back at SummerSlam. John Cena starts to turn face, because obviously Cody's going to face John Cena. Cena starts to go face for the rest of his retirement run, and then eventually we get this match properly for the WWE Championship. However, this is WWE. They have surprised us in the past. I do not see Randy Orton winning this match, because while I don't mind doing Orton and Cena again, you don't want to do too many double ups or multi matches with Cena, because it's his retirement tour. You want to see stuff once so he can go on to something else. He did it multiple times with Ron Killings. That made sense for the story. Multiple times with Cody Rhodes makes sense with the story, especially if he wins King of the Ring. Makes sense? Makes sense. So, pick-wise, I'm just going to leave it up in the air. I don't give a rat's ass who wins this match, to be completely honest with you. Because if Randy does win, if Triple H, Nick Khan, and them decide to pull the wool directly over our eyes, I will be happy with it. Randy Orton versus John Cena again as the main event of the first ever two-night SummerSlam. That sells its fucking self. What does Cody do? I don't know. That's the biggest problem. I mean, the same goes for Randy Orton, but Cody is... I don't know how to explain it. They're both such big stars, but if you put Cody on the outs, it really, really questions what you do with him. Orton could probably pretty easily move into something else. I don't know what, but he probably could. It's Randy Orton. I'm not saying Cody couldn't, but I'm not going to be mad no matter what. So pick-wise, I'm not picking anybody, but prediction-wise, I do predict we are getting Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton in probably a 20 to 30 minute absolute classic. Lots of cutters, lots of RKOs, lots of Cody cutters, and and then we'll get to Cody and Cena at SummerSlam. Speaking of John Cena, all right, before we get to I just want to point out that there was supposed to be AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Apparently, Dominic is legitimately injured. I haven't read much before I made this video. I read as much as I could. Some people were saying, oh, well, somebody doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, but I'm pretty sure they both have. So, from what I understand, Dominic is actually injured. He's not at 100% right now. So, that sucks. I would have enjoyed seeing that. In case you're curious, I would have picked AJ Styles because he's my boy, but I likely would have predicted Dom. So, main event of Night of Champions. John Cena versus CM Punk. I had to pick the one of the images from John Cena recreating the pipe bomb. I'm sorry you can't really see either one of them the way I'm sitting. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Hang on. Okay, that's a little better. I almost stopped on him waving at Claudio Castagnoli. Anyway, and Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona, but let's be honest, the Claudio one was the most unhinged. But, so, here we go. The main event of Night of Champions, John Cena versus CM Punk. Oh, boy. Look, every time CM Punk has been in anything, you guys know my pick has been CM Punk. Every time. So, I'm not going to change that now. Yes, it's a bias. I don't really give a shit, but this time, I'm picking him because I think it would be interesting. Yes, I just pitched Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, which is why my prediction is John Cena. But, again, think of WWE doing the whole wool over our eyes trolling shit. Imagine John Cena loses his WWE title to CM Punk in Saudi Arabia. That would be a whole thing and a half. Then we'd get to Cody versus Punk at SummerSlam. Sorry, I had to check on my daughter. I didn't know what she was doing. It would be a whole story in and of itself, and a lot of people are thinking we're probably going to do Cody and Punk out of WrestleMania, maybe even WrestleMania 42. So, jumping to it now would just shock everybody. I'm mostly picking CM Punk just because I love him and I love the idea of the chaos of CM Punk winning the WWE title in Riyadh, of all places. But, let's just cut down to brass tacks. Let's be honest and stop fucking bullshitting. He said bullshit on Raw. Was that Raw? It's literally SmackDown right there. Trying to get my daughter to quit kicking the camera holder. So yeah, on SmackDown he did all this, and it's obvious what we're doing here. My voice does this every video. John Cena is going to retain his title. He'll most likely cheat until his face melts off. Title shot, low blows, all that. Ron Killings might get involved because his matches with Cena keep going not right for him, and I don't think they're done with Ron yet. Maybe we do R-Truth, Ron Killings, whatever, versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. It's a big match. Like, if you think about what R-Truth's been through, and if you have him cause the right kind of distraction, it could lead to an interesting story with Punk. So, prediction-wise, I mean, it's obvious to me. John Cena's going to win. And like I said, we're going to get Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam. I got to come up with something stupid because I'm just like, man, I would bet money almost or something stupid like that. But seriously, I would be absolutely flabbergasted. And when I came on there to do my review, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't know what to say because I don't see Cena losing. I don't see Cody losing. So that's my biggest, it's not really bold. The biggest, Jesus Christ. I am so sorry, everybody. The most obvious prediction of the night is that we are likely going to get Cody Rhodes and John Cena Blair's back at, you can't see it, it's fine, at SummerSlam. So Cena's going to beat CM Punk. And again, I'm just picking CM Punk because I'm a little biased and because of the chaos it would cause if CM Punk actually beats John Cena on Saturday. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And don't forget to share the video and do all the things. Like, share, and subscribe. That's how you do it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'm looking forward to the show on Saturday. I think I have to work. And because it's a Saudi Arabia show, it's probably going to be on at a dumbass time. So I don't know when I'm going to catch it. But I'll try to watch it as soon as I can. Get my review out either Saturday evening or sometime Sunday. I don't know what match I'm looking forward to the most. Probably Rhea and Raquel because they're two women that I've watched and really been into forever and ever and ever. And seeing them get their big street fight match on Raw, or not on Raw, on main roster is what I meant, is super cool. If you haven't watched their last woman standing match, I think they had it down in NXT, you got to go check it out. It's so good. But until next time, this is JT Channel. I am JT. Enjoy Night of Champions this weekend, even though it's in Saudi Arabia. And I will see you in the next one.